Welcome to Bray Elementary Fine Arts Academy. I'm Eric Barnes and I'm the principal here. And
I am Mrs. Shaquita Miller and I'm the assistant principal of Bray Fine Arts Elementary.
we want to welcome you here on this cold, wintry December morning. Temperatures changed on us real quick here in Dallas, but hopefully today you will see some things that will interest you with bringing your child to our campus. Come on and let's see. We are coined as hashtag the original. And what that means is we are the first campus in Cedar Hill ISD, the oldest campus opening in 1949. But one of the portions of the buildings that we will show you today is actually the oldest building represented in our district. So not only do we have the opportunity to offer fine arts to our scholars, we have the opportunity to offer culture, and they have the unique opportunity saying that they were a Bray scholar in the oldest school in the district. Come on in, I want to let you meet with someone who will be a bright and friendly face that you will see every time you come into the building.
Good morning, it's a great day to be a Bray Longhorn.
So as you can see here, this young lady here is Mrs. Beverly
No, I was
Berry.
not.
She is our administrative assistant. She also is my personal secretary as the principal. She will handle all paperwork, any questions that you may have, or any additional requests that you may have to go be funneled in various ways. As you also saw previously, she also answers the phone. So she is a busy lady, especially early in the morning. Ms. Berry, if you could wave for everybody so they can know who you are. All right. So as we're walking around the building, I want to talk about some of the college flags that you see. Some of the important things about our campus is we are not only just fine arts, but we also have to focus on our CCMR, which is our college career military readiness. And that is an indicator that's actually represented for a portion of the accountability rating for high school. But as we know, we cannot start in high school. It has to start in elementary school. So that's important that we start that. And you will see them throughout this building that we're here. Here to my right is actually our Choose Your Seat campaign, which is a portion of where you go on to and you fill out your application to select the programs that you may be interested in. Although I know that you may be interested in Bray Fine Arts, if you have older children across our district, we do have other programs represented, such as the Collegiate Pathway. In addition to scholars that may be in middle school, there is a middle school fine arts program which is located at Bessie Coleman. So it's kind of like our pathway in then from Bessie Coleman to the high school with all the fine arts programs. And this particular scholar here, you'll see him in just a little while. He's a representative here at Bray. So here's an example of some of the work that some of our teachers do. So we not just only have our scholars that are extremely talented or just our art teacher, and we'll talk about her momentarily, but we have talented teachers as well. This particular Polish Express train was created by one of our first grade professors here that is a core teacher. Also, and as I mentioned the college flags previously, you'll see various college flags here from the PAC conference, the SEC conference, Big 12, so forth. So on HBCUs, colleges represented around the state of Texas, Tennessee, Mississippi, just a bit Georgia, various places in our union. So at this point, we're getting ready to go see something magical that is going to happen. Some beautiful voices that you shall be hearing, and we'll talk more once that's completed. Come on.
Hola, me llamo Matthew Alfaro. At Bray, scholars can choose to sing with our wonderful choir of locomotion. You may have heard them in many community events. I think I can hear them practicing with this full team right now. Come sing. Everybody sing. Go back to the top. Everybody singing, fa la la la. Everybody singing, fa la 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 la. This holiday, la. This holiday, peaceful feelings all around. Voices sharing sweetest sounds. Peaceful feelings all around. Voices sharing sweetest sound. Oh, everybody singing fa la la la. Everybody
so you should have had an opportunity to hear my 5th grade scholars. Those are the oldest scholars in the building, as we serve scholars pre-K through 5th grade. And those particular scholars have been in vocal motion for 2 years. So throughout our tour, you'll have an opportunity to see varying levels from where scholars are at the beginning level, as well as what it should sound like at 5th grade. And then of course, at some point, I'm sure you'll have an opportunity to see in our pathways where they progress, and you'll see as they get better over the years. So that young lady that's actually teaching vocal motion, she serves in a dual purpose. That's Miss Tiffany Mosley. She's also one of 2 orchestra teachers that we have. The other orchestra teacher that we have on campus is Miss Diane Dillard. We share both Miss Mosley and Miss Dillard with the middle schools. Miss Mosley working at Bessie Colvin in the afternoons, and Miss Dillard working at Permenter Middle School in the afternoons. But they have dual roles, so not just orchestra, but they also teach music, as Miss Mosley was a former music teacher here prior to taking this role of orchestra. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to see an example of the piano lab in Mr. Gowan's room, but you should see in just a moment. You'll have another friend that will introduce you.
Hello, I'm Angelina. Did you know that John Legend and Alicia Key learned to play piano when they were both my age? Like them, my friends here at Bray can also learn to play piano. Come listen.
Okay. Ready, and 1, 2, again, and go. 2 half note. 2 half note. Left hand. 4, 1, 2. Ready, and repeat again. C, D, half note. Half note. Okay, play the last 2 measures. Let's do the left hand part. Make sure your left thumb, finger 1 is on C. Ready, 2, left thumb, left thumb, left thumb. Your other left thumb, not that one, though. This one. This one, right? There you go. Make sure your left thumb is on C. Ready, 2, last 2 measures, go. B, A, B, again. Ready, and 1, 2, again, and go. Oh no, 2, 3, 4. Again, same thing, just left hand. One more time, left hand. Ready, go. Good. To do the whole thing. Whole thing beginning. Put your right hand up now. Put your right hand up. Okay, because you start with your right hand. Make sure finger 1 is on C. 1, 2, and ready, go. Half note, 2, that's right, half. Now left hand, C, B, A, B, good. Okay, hands down, turn the page, go to Clever Pup. Let me get on the same page, 21. Ready, 1.
Okay, welcome back. If you remember me talking to you about varying levels, so these are our beginners, and so this potential piano class usually only meets once a week. So therefore, Mr. Gowan's, a little bit about Mr. Gowan's, we are lucky to have him. So he is a certified songwriter. So in not only just in piano class, but also in the music classes, core for all scholars here at Bray, they actually learn a variety of things. So as you heard him doing counting with his snaps, you also heard him reminding scholars about notes and where to put their hands. So typically you don't find that type of instruction until middle school level, where scholars are in the band, where they're learning about their treble clef, their bass clef, notes, such as so forth and so on, and how to count. Those are things that he is teaching scholars as young as kindergarten and 1st grade. And if you ever have an opportunity to stop by and see, it's amazing to see how he works with kindergarten students as they play the xylophone and different things, or as with 2nd and 3rd graders, the bucket drums. So there's a variety of things. Although you're seeing the piano lab today, he does a variety of instruments and his style of music, and he's very patient with scholars. And one of the things I can say, he definitely has an ear for music, as this is his 1st year at Bray, and also his 1st year in elementary school. So he was taught 16 years middle school, high school band. So we're lucky to have him. Although this is not actually on our itinerary today, I do want to show you the oldest building in Cedar ISD, where the PE class is having PE at the moment. And so as we know, PE is mandatory for scholars throughout the state of Texas, that they have to have so many minutes per week. So we'll just take a quick glance. It won't be quite like the other portions of the building, but just so you can see the oldest building in Cedar ISD. So we'll take a quick peek, and you'll see that there's a PE lesson kind of going on where they're doing some walking, and there's some other scholars doing some other things. Coach typically normally does a variety of stations, and so that might be some of the things that you see happening here. So you look around, the gym is pretty original. As I mentioned, this is the oldest building in Cedar here at ISD, and it's beloved by the community. So we do use it for a variety of events, including an alumni reception that happens every year, second Saturday in September, with one of our long-term fire chiefs, who the fire station is named after, and he is currently 93 years old. And he attended Bray, so that just goes to show you this particular building and how important it is to not only current Bray members such as myself, but long-term Bray members as well. So I've talked a lot about professors, but hadn't really said much about myself, and this will be very briefly. Recently, my scholars found out that they have a principal that not only just believes in fine arts, but did fine arts myself. So for 7.5 years, I played trombone from 5th grade all the way through high school, playing trombone in the marching band. In addition, they learned recently in October when we celebrated Miss Irma P. Hall, who happens to be a friend of mine, actress Irma P. Hall, for breast cancer awareness, and we actually sung the Mama Song and actually sung with the scholars, and so they found out that I have a little voice on me as well. So I'm excited to not just be a part of the community in terms of as a principal, but actually going in and working with my scholars as well. So let's continue our tour. The next stop that we're going to be making is, you will notice, my babies of the campus, pre-K. And so a little bit about pre-K as we're walking that direction. My pre-K scholars, of course, as I mentioned, are my youngest scholars in the building. They do have a full-time program where they come to our campus, just like any other scholar in the building, and they are here all day. With the exception, they get one exception. They get to get a 30 to 45-minute nap. Now, I wish I could take a nap in the middle of the day too, but unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. So before we get down to them, I do want to make mention to something on how we celebrate scholars and positivity. So this here is what we call the Bray Great Wall. So if you'll notice, it's imitated after Instagram. And kind of what this talks about here is professors have an opportunity to nominate scholars for various reasons, for following home essentials, for being respectful in class, for doing things getting called being good, if you will, outside of what would be normal. And so with that being said, the teachers have an opportunity, professors have an opportunity to write this information here. And then they get their picture taken, and then Ms. Miller and someone else from the admin team makes a positive phone call home. And in that positive phone call, we discuss what the professor nominated their scholar for and what would happen moving forward. Has been a big hit with parents because we know often parents get phone calls about negative stuff, right? So this is an opportunity to share the positive things that scholars have been doing. All right. So I'm back to you. So we have one last program that we want to share with you. And in this program is unique, as we always talk about band and look at band and marching bands on Friday nights, lights and all that. But we do know that it's not just about the brass instruments. The string instruments are beautiful. And so here at Bray, we have an opportunity to have an orchestra. So I'm gonna let you talk to one of my friends, and then we're gonna go in and sing.
Hi, my name is James Stanless, but you could call me JT. A lot of composers started playing an orchestra when they were my age. Here at Bray, kids can learn how to play the violin, viola, and cello. My sister has been playing viola. I think I hear them playing now. Come see.
Pre-K scholars get to participate in fine arts as well. I know that oftentimes we think of them learning the ABCs and singing songs and they're just in classrooms, but they get to participate in the art class as well as music, as I mentioned with Mr. Gowns previously, PE. So they don't just have a traditional sense of elementary school. So they have an opportunity to participate in fine arts as well. On last night, we had our big musical for our campus that happens yearly at the PAC at the high school. And even there, my pre-K scholars were spotlighted with being able to sing, as they were so cute with their little hats on. But all scholars from pre-K through 5th grade have an opportunity to participate. The orchestra that you'll see in just a moment also participated as well. So let's take a look into this art room. Definitely very artsy, isn't it?
Hi, my name is Jordan. Did you know Blue the Gray was in art class? Now he's everywhere. He's a Longhorn. At Bray, we can be creative like him too. Pre-K's making their snowflakes. Come on, let's see.
Take our snowflake and we're gonna paint it with the cool colors. Okay? Right there's a snowflake.
Welcome to pre-K.
Welcome to pre-K. Welcome to pre-K. Welcome to pre-K.
Is that your mama?
Yeah, we're not gonna paint it. You know why? And remember, we only paint. Where are we paint? It's on its tippy toes. Let me see.
A little bit about our programs that we have here. We talked about some of them briefly, but want to talk about grade levels. So our orchestra, typically our piano lab, as well as bucket drums, things like that, are typically reserved for scholars that are upper elementary scholars, 3rd through 5th grade. However, we do have some other opportunities for scholars to participate in other activities. And some of those include, we were looking to add photojournalism next school year, but hopefully keeping my fingers crossed, there's a partner that is looking to purchase cameras that want to see that get up and going next semester. So I'm so excited about that. We're also looking at adding theater as well as dance next year. There are conversations that are happening about that, and so we're pretty much coming very closely to the end of those conversations, and I do feel that they're going to come, because as a supporter of this campus, I want to make sure that my scholars have all the opportunities to participate in various things. So at this point in time, we do have 2 more classrooms we need to take a visit in, but we talked quite a bit about our fine arts program, but I want to take a moment to stop and actually look at some academics, because not only do we do fine arts, we do academics as well.
Hi, welcome to kindergarten. Hi, my name is Natalie. This is our kindergarten class. Hi, my name is Melanie, and here we have lots of fun. Come see.
How it jingled and jangled and tickled as well. I don't know why she swallowed a bell. I wish she'd tell. There was an old lady who swallowed some bows. Soft as snow were those velvety bows. She swallowed the bows to tie up the bells that jingled and what? Jingled and tinkled as well. I don't know why she swallowed the bell. I wish she'd tell. There was an old lady who swallowed some gifts.
I don't know.
She gave it a lift to swallow the gifts. She swallowed the gifts to go with the bows. She swallowed the bows to tie up the bells that jingled and what? And jangled and tinkled as well. I don't know why she swallowed the bells. I wish she'd tell. There was
Okay, so welcome back. So you should have an opportunity to see our kindergarten scholars. So our kindergarten scholars here, Ms. Martinez, is also the other kindergarten teacher is Mrs. Amy Thomas. And so we're so lucky to have them because they represent, not only do we do fine arts at Bray, we also do education the traditional way. So hopefully you got a good opportunity to see that. Okay, so here on campus, hopefully you had an opportunity to see just a little bit of what we have to offer. We're so excited that you decided to join us today. But before we finish our final closeout, I want to mention this board because one of the things we talked about fine arts, we've talked about education. I want to talk about partnerships with parents and community members. This particular board here was actually created by one of my parents, who I asked was your former teacher, because it's so, as you can see, it's so delicately done and it's so intricate and just everything is proportioned. And she shared with me she's never been a teacher. She just always had an eye for those types of things. So on Deck the Halls on December 2nd that we had previously, that was an opportunity for the community members to just come into the campus and decorate the campus. As long as it was of quality, as well as, let me not say quality, let me say as long as it was appropriate, that's the word I'm looking for, appropriate to be in the school. Parents, community members, scholars had the opportunity to come up to campus. So we're so grateful to Mrs. McGrew, who actually took the time out of her schedule to not just decorate a bulletin board, but I mean, she did a great job. So I want to spotlight that, and it's just some of the opportunities that we have with our parents here, because they work with us as well, not just with our academics, but also when it's time to have a good time. So if you look now, you should see all these beautiful faces that you had an opportunity to see today that introduce you to the campus. So they want to say goodbye.
Choose your seat at Bray.
Choose your seat. Have an awesome day.